All the next day we rode through a fertile valley filled with rice paddies and scattered villages. Rolling hills formed a basin around us. Smoke curled from temples perched on their ridges. "Wow," said Mondino, tugging my sleeve. "Just imagine if the Emperor of China gave you a valley like this all to yourself." "But there's no TV," scoffed Ansel. After dawn on the second day we emerged from a dense forest into a barren, blackened landscape. It was a place where life had ceased to exist. The winds howled across the plain like wolves stirring the dead, swirled into the dusty swirls and tossing them skywards. Nobody spoke as we made our way past ruined villages, where houses crumbled into decay. At noon Zhong Bao signaled us for us to stop. He pointed to a pile of debris ahead. "The old warlord's palace," he announced. "Be on your guard." I gazed at the burned stumps that had once been the proud columns that supported the roof. In places specks of gold leaves still glittered in the charred beams. The roof must have collapsed in a shower of broken tiles. Colorful chips of porcelain were strewn everywhere. Judging by the remains of the blackened brick walls, the palace had covered a vast area. Now it was a scene of death and destruction, a place for crows and ghosts. Wei Han's scream pierced the eerie silence. She was pointing into the sky. Enormous tree trunks were spiraling through the air towards us. They crashed to earth like arrows. The ground shook beneath their impact and Ansel's horse reared in alarm. "Where did they come from?" he gasped. "The ghosts must be throwing them at us," I yelled, as another handful of trees sailed through the sky and huddled to the ground around us. "Follow me," cried Zhong Bao, spurring his horse forward. We galloped towards the banks of a broad lake and took shelter beneath an outcrop of rock. "Keep down," Zhong Bao warned. For a moment there was only the sound of lapping water, and then I heard it, a mysterious swishing noise. It sounded like a rotor blades of helicopter. Zhong Bao's face drained of color. "Seth Chan, we are in deadly danger." I looked up but couldn't see a thing. The sky was empty, but the swishing grew louder by the second. "What is that noise?" Wei Han wanted to know, her hands over his ears. She had her answers within another heartbeat. Her screams rose in terror. Across the lake a lone figure had emerged from beneath the water like a human rocket and was traveling high into the air. It was a man clad in white robes, robes that were dry. His hands moved and waved faster than the speed of light, spinning two of the longest, deadliest swords I had ever seen. The swords were swishing as he lifted high above the lake. "The ghost of Guangzheng," breathed Zhong Bao. Suddenly, Guangzheng's ghost was suspended in space. We saw him turn slowly into the swishing swords were aimed directly at us. With a blood-curdling sword cry of hatred, Guangzheng's ghost leapt through space and hovered over me, his swords challenging me to a duel.